Neymar has just played his final World Cup and looks like he'll retire without ever winning football's biggest prize. Or at least that's what everybody thinks. Because today, Neymar has finished his coaching badges and is starting a brand new career as a football manager. And his dream is to take charge of the Brazilian national team and win the World Cup. But of course, Neymar has to go ahead and pick his first job, as he has gotten 3 great offers. And those offers include FC Barcelona, yes, straight away. But if he fails at Barca, his reputation will be damaged and will never get the Brazil job. What about FC Andorra, another club in Catalan, which is the same area where Barca's from? Or finally, Shakhtar Donetsk, the Ukrainian football team that has a bunch of Brazilians all the time. For sure, Neymar's rejecting that Barca offer. It's way too early. And he has decided on Shakhtar Donetsk as he signs a new deal as he begins his journey to win the World Cup with Brazil. But not only that, he also wants to win the Champions League in his career, but also have a Brazilian to win the Ballon d'Or because he never could. However, in this reality, Shakhtar Donetsk is in the Turkish Super League since there isn't a Ukrainian league. And this is the current Shakhtar side Neymar is taking over. Lots of Brazilians like Pedro Henrique, Pedrinho, and Vinicius Tobias. And throughout Neymar's career, he wants to honor his former managers. So here in his first job, he's rocking the 4-3-3 holding, very attacking minded, in honor of Luis Enrique. And this is the best starting 11 in the brand new format. But as you can tell from his transfer list, he has transfer listed everybody that is not Brazilian. And he has also sent a youth academy scout to Brazil, as here at Shakhtar, he only wants to sign Brazilians because he's serious about winning that World Cup. And there we go, Neymar has gotten rid of almost everybody he wanted to sell, which now does give him only 59 million to spend. You'd think it'd be way more. And this squad has a lot of work to do if Neymar eventually wants to win the league title with just Brazilians. And up first is that goalkeeper spot. And Neymar wants to convince Kakua Santos to leave the top 5 leagues and join his Shakhtar project. And he was able to do it for 6 million. The 23-year-old keeper has a huge test in front of him, starting in a very competitive Turkish division. It is only a slight improvement, but with 80 plus potential, he could be the future Brazil starting keeper. But now up next, Neymar must find a great center back here. And Neymar would love to sign the likes of Nathan or even Lucas Beraldo. These signings have to be realistic, so maybe at future clubs, he'll bring in these youngsters. But boys, Vitor Rice's Man City contract has been terminated and is now a free agent. And Neymar had to jump on that deal, so for absolutely free, the center back wonder kid is now a Shakhtar Donetsk player. This is the type of player Neymar might take around to all of his future clubs. However, Neymar also wants to sign Joao Costa. Now this guy can either represent Portugal or Brazil in the future. So as Neymar signs him for 6 million plus another left back, wants to go ahead and try to convince him for the next couple years to represent Brazil. And for now, Joao Costa will be the backup fullback, but can easily overtake Pedro Henrique and Tobias. However, this Shakhtar Donetsk guy is really lacking a midfield. A CDM and a center mid would be quite nice. Well, Neymar was missing a leader, so for absolutely free, a swap deal with the CDM, Fabinho is joining Shakhtar Donetsk. And for that center mid spot, Neymar wants to try and convince Gabriel Sara or Anderson Talisca. As you can see, both of them represent other Turkish clubs here. But luckily, for only 26 million, Gabriel Sara is now joining Shakhtar Donetsk. It was the promise to play with plenty of Brazilians is what brought him over here. And the squad is now looking even better. However, it's time to talk about this front line. Pedrinho is going to start no matter what. He is the best left winger here. But when it comes to the strikers, they have 2 Brazilians and even have 2 Brazilian right wingers. But they're not good enough to win a league title. But with only 11 million left, should Neymar go ahead and trust either Luca Mireles or Kakua Elias or Lucas Ferreira and Alisson to do well this season? Well, Brazil has a big striker problem, so Neymar has shortlisted Gabriel Jesus, which is not the ideal option, Evan Nilsson, Marcos Leonardo, and Igor Jesus. Now, Leonardo is not the ideal candidate. With talented wingers like Estevao and Vinicius Jr., they want somebody who can hit the ball. And Gabriel Jesus is the same problem. He's more of a ball-to-feet player. But luckily, for 13 million plus a little swap deal, Igor Jesus has accepted the prospect of playing under Neymar and potentially becoming Brazil's future number 9. So this is the final Shakhtar side for season number 1. He's built a brilliant Brazilian project, but if he does not do a good job in the Turkish league, he might get sacked. Was it worth signing all these Brazilians for the risk of his first ever job and his reputation? And Igor Jesus was the right signing. 20 goals in the Turkish league, 8 and 6 for Fabinho, 8 and 11 for Gabriel Sara, 7 goals for Alisson, 7 for Pedrinho. But some of this growth looks great. 79 Igor Jesus, 78 Pedrinho, 74 Alisson, 75 Gomez. This guy was a 70. And Kakua Santos up to a 74. Not too bad for a team just full of Brazilians. And it's no league title, but hey, 4th place above one of the super teams in Besiktas is a great job considering he signed like 7 players. And he only reached the 2nd round of the Turkish Cup. I'm hoping he can win his first trophy next year with Shakhtar. Other offers come in. And he does get one team of the season inclusion, and that is Gabriel Sara. Might be a future starter at a World Cup. And in season 2, Neymar has again received an offer from Andorra. The Catalans really love him. But also from Galatasaray and Fenerbahce, the opportunity to win Turkish trophies. But it would mean leaving behind his Brazilian project or even Paris FC, the rivals of his former club. This is a huge step up. And I swear they have unlimited money. He can build whatever he wants there. But Neymar rejects the Andorra offer, the Fenerbahce, Paris FC, and the Galatasaray. He wants to commit to this Brazilian project. But he already runs into his first problem. Pedro Enrique has been poached by Everton. Can't stop a man from playing in the Premier League. But it looks like Neymar is going to trust Joao Costa, who still wants to represent Portugal. But maybe after this season, he can convince him to represent Brazil one day. There's a lot of work to do in this side though, mainly in the backups because they don't have much squad depth here. However, this season, he only has 42 million to spend. He must be careful. And Neymar is a big fan of Roger Ibanez, who is now at Newcastle. And even though Newcastle accepted an offer, Ibanez says no, he does not want to go to the Turkish league. However, he was able to convince Nottingham Forest center back Jair Cunha, 75 overall. He saw what Neymar has done to Rice and wants the same for his career. And due to the lack of funds, Neymar is going to go ahead and sign Rogerio and Romulo, 2 Brazilians who are free agents again. So there goes the 23-year-old center back joining and the 29-year-old left back. You never know, these guys might make a career comeback and become starters for the Brazilian national team. So now with only 23 million left, Neymar has space for one more signing. And what position on the pitch can he sign that will completely change and win him some trophies here at Shakhtar? And that signing might just be Angelo from Al Nassr. Used to be in the Chelsea Academy. Can Neymar help him fulfill his potential? So for 20 million, the former Brazilian wonder kid finally left the money in Saudi and start to test himself. So Angelo joins the starting 11, but the question is he the missing piece to win Neymar's first trophy and impress some bigger clubs? He'll also be participating in the Europa League. Winning that could get him a step closer to impressing the Brazil Federation. And look at the growth of the squad at the end of the season. 85 Gabriel Sara, Kakua Santos went up all the way to an 81, Vinicius Tobias 80. Nobody in the starting 11 below a 75 overall. And this time it's Pedrinho with 25 goals and 8 assists. Great season. 18 goals for Igor Jesus, 17 and 60 for Fabinho. At 34, still killing it. But yes, they finally won the Turkish division with 100 points, undefeated. They also won the Turkish Cup and were able to win the Europa League. Neymar has won a triple in his first ever year. And that has convinced Costa into the Brazil project, as he will now represent them. And in 2028, with 2 seasons to go, will he have time to become the manager at the 2030 World Cup? And with that triple, now the likes of Olympic Lyon won them. Lots of Brazilian legends have played for that club. Newcastle United, who have so much money, and Neymar can build whatever he wants. Or the biggest club here in Chelsea. Now, this will be a huge step up, but the likes of Esteval is still at that club. If you guys have enjoyed this video so far, make sure to subscribe and let me know down below what I should do next. And unlike his football career, he decided to play it safe and go to Olympic Lyonnais. The Brazilian national team job requires a lot of reputation, and Neymar must build it. But before Neymar left, these are the players he promoted to the first team in Shakhtar. Will they make the World Cup squad one day? So this is the current Lyon side he has taken over. It looks pretty average, and might I add, not a single Brazilian in the entire side. But here in France, he'll be using a 4-2-3-1 now in honor of one of his Brazilian managers in Tite. And with the change of formation, the team stays around the same here. But because he's in a more serious league, it's not only going to be a team full of Brazilians. And it's time to get to work, as Neymar has made a big transfer list, mainly of players who are never going to get into this team. And there we go. Neymar has sold everybody in his transfer list. However, Malik Fofana has also been poached by Man United. The problems begin here at Lyon. He does have 152 million to spend. That is a lot, but it'll be hard to convince world-class players to join. And taking a look at the starting 11, first things first, again, it's that goalkeeper spot. And Neymar's main target is Luis Jr., who is still in La Liga with Sevilla. But if he can't convince him, he wants to go for Ederson just for the experience. Luckily for 20 million, Luis Jr. has been convinced. When Neymar's Brazil manager, him and Kakua Santos will be competing for that #1 spot. And it's an instant upgrade here with Luis Jr. in the side. That right back spot is is looking awfully weak and needs some replacing. And Neymar wanted Vinicius to bias, but he grew all the way to an 85. And look at that price, man. It's way too expensive. Brazil doesn't have a lot of great fullbacks either. So it's between Jan and Couto. It will be hard to convince him out of Dortmund. Or Van der Sar, who's playing at Feyenoord. That should be an easier way to convince. But despite getting a deal accepted for Couto, Jan and Couto does not want to leave the Dortmund project, at least not for Lyon. So for 30 million, instead, he has gone for Van der Sar, rejoining the Ligue 1 with Lyon instead. And Van der Sar is not a bad signing whatsoever. But before Neymar runs out of money, he needs to figure out that center attacking mid situation to replace Malik Fofana. Well, ideally, the best option is someone like Sabinho. The cams on the sides are basically right wingers and left wingers, but he is just way too expensive. And that goes the same for Ryan, who is somehow still at Bournemouth. But with an 84 to 100 million price range, it's too expensive for someone like Lyon. But this guy might be the perfect option, William Gomez from Porto. And for 47 million, here comes William Gomez, ready to play on the sides for Lyon. And anybody that's Brazilian joining Neymar has a future potentially in the Brazil national team. And Neymar has 42 million left to spend, but he still would like a number 9 and even a center back, but he has money for one more good signing. What position should he target? Would love to bring along Rice, but now at an 85 overall, is probably going to move to a bigger club. Igor Jesus is always an option, has not grown dramatically yet. Or he can also go for Nathan or Alexandro at the back and maybe go back on his target and go for Marcus Leonardo or even Romelu as different profiles for his eventual Brazil job. And for 37 million, he was able to convince Romelu to ditch RB Leipzig and come to the French league. This guy is 6'4" and has a great touch in him. And this team is now looking even better. Neymar is still worried about the defense, but let's see how they do in Ligue 1 this season. And what a great first season for Romelu. 28 goals, 1 assist, 13 and 17 for Tyler Morton, 11 and 8 for Tessman, and even 11 for Gonzalez and Nuama. It's an 84 overall for Romelu, 82 for William Gomez in his new spots, 82 for Van der Sar, 82 for Junior. But someone like Solj got injured and went down on -3 or 4. Somebody needs replacing. And Lyon finished in second place, nowhere near the league. That was expected though. Trophy de Champions also goes to Paris. And the Coupe de France, not a bad first season in the top 5 leagues for Neymar. And you know what? Romelu was very close to winning the Golden Boot. And in season 4, he actually got one offer. And again, it's from Chelsea. As you guys know, this season is a World Cup year. If Neymar goes to Chelsea and has a brilliant year, surely they'll call him up. But it's the same here at Lyon. If he could win a league title or a Coupe de France, there is a small chance he can get the national team job. If he fails at Chelsea, he may never ever get the job. Reputation is everything, so Neymar has decided to reject the Chelsea offer for now. So that means this is the squad he is dealing with in a World Cup year. We mentioned before he wants a center back. It's time he brought one in. But only 38 million to spend. I think he needs to make more sales. So there we go. Neymar has gotten rid of a lot of players. Nardi has 3 offers accepted and is about to leave the club. But also Inter Milan have poached Tyler Morton for 75 mil. I'm not sure why it's on the other screen, but he now has 177 million to spend. That's a lot more comfortable. And Neymar wants to try and convince Murillo, who at an 86 overall is playing for Crystal Palace. And he was able to, but for 63 million. The biggest fee Neymar has ever paid. That might help him win a trophy here, you know. And here comes the very high-rated Murillo. But Neymar's looking for another attacking mid, whether it's centrally or on the wing. And I think it's time he brought somebody from Shakhtar Donetsk. And he has many options. All from his old club, of course. Gabriel Sara, Isake, and Marlon Gomez could be the one that plays centrally. Should he go for a winger like Angelo, Pedrinho, who's already 31, so maybe not him, Newerton, or Allison? But boys, I think Neymar has too much pride for a straight swap with Julian Duranville. He has brought in Weverton, not only him though, but he also canceled the deal for Nardi. And for 30 million plus Nardi, he's brought in Gomez as well. This guy is obsessed with getting Brazil ready for the World Cup. Hopefully it doesn't cost him his job here at Lyon. So there is Gomez and there is Newerton playing in the attacking mid spot, a full front 4 Brazilians. And with 50 million left, he wants a brand new DM here. And he wants Wolves Andre here. And the transfer actually only costed him 30 million. So Andre is now a Lyon player. And he has 20 mil left. And with the remaining 20 mil, he has brought in Joao Souza the Brazilian left back from Tottenham. He's going to be a great backup to Oliver Scarles. So this is the final starting 11 for this season. Neymar has a lot of pressure. He needs to be outstanding if he wants that Brazilian job. And it's another super season. 27 goals for Romelu, 23 and 13 for Marlon Gomez. The perfect signing he was. 13 and 12 for William Gomez, 12 and 4 for Vanderson as well. And oh my days, Romulu's at an 87. Both Gomez's are at an 85. Newerton at an 84. But there is no league title, even though they were closer this year. They did win the trophy, the champions. Neymar wins a trophy in France. And they did not reach the Coupe de France final, as this time knocked out in the round of 16. But boys, in the UCL, they reached the semi-final. That has to be enough to convince Brazil. And unfortunately, it was not, as Brazil were in a group with Turkey, Congo, and Korea Republic. Maybe he should have taken that Chelsea job. But boys, Brazil finished in third in their group, have gotten lucky and made it to the round of 32. And they actually sacked their manager, and Neymar has been given an offer. This is dangerous. If he does one with the World Cup, perfect. It's over. But if he gets knocked out by England, there's a chance he gets sacked, even with an unfair start. But of course, he's gonna accept when his country needs him. And despite finishing in third, Vinny is still the top goal scorer, which is good. That means he's in the squad. And this was the Brazil starting 11 during the group stages. Neymar is not a big fan of some of these players. This was the playstyle this current Brazil side was playing, and he's actually kept the same formation but changed some of the roles, mainly inside forwards and the playmakers. And this is already a better lineup in my opinion. Neymar has managed a lot of these players, plus getting the best out of Esteban, Vinicius, and even Gabriel when he's back from suspension. But it's time they face England. With Gabriel suspended, Rice will be starting. An unfair debut for Neymar, but it's still the most important game of his career. Can he take Brazil to the round of 16? But here come England. Declan Rice into Jude Bellingham, beats one man. Here comes Murillo, misses the tackle. Gordon gives it to Declan Rice. It's Declan Rice, back into Gordon. Missed tackle, Bellingham shot, great block by Murillo. Liam Delap gives it to Jude Bellingham, great tackle from Victor Rice. And now it's Bruno Guimaraes gives it into Gabriel Sara. The man he signed for Shakhtar Donetsk from Turkey. Through ball into Estewao. Estewao into Endrick. No, he's offside. That was beautiful. Here come England. Tyler Morton into Saka. Saka back into Declan Rice, who finds Reece James. Reece James, great tackle from Joao Costa. And now here come Brazil. The former Portuguese man is running down the wing. Gives it to André Santos, who finds Endrick. Endrick into Vinny, who's looking for his 5th goal of the tournament. Can he find it? No, great save Pickford. Vinny on the ball, gives it back into Estevao. Estevao cuts back, and here comes Estevao with a finesse. It just goes over the bar. And now second half, here come Brazil. Endrick with a great ball into Estevao. Estevao cuts back, gives it to Endrick. Low driven, and it goes in. Brazil break the deadlock. 1-0 in the 50th minute. Here come England. Tyler Morton into Nico O'Reilly, looking for the equalizer. Back into Tyler Morton. Wait to miss tackle from Sara. Sara to Delap. Delap into Bellingham, and it goes in. Jude equalizes the game in the 63rd minute. But now it's Anthony Gordon looking to make it 2-1 shot save by Kakua Santos. Here comes Adam Wharton. Anthony Gordon. He gets rid of the defenders. Gordon with a shot. Santos again with a save. Santos through ball into Estevao. And here comes the young Brazilian. Cuts back. It's still Estevao. Gives it all the way into Endrick. It's still Endrick holding up the play. Somebody help him out. It's still Endrick. Endrick. Bobby Charlton shot. It goes wide. Come on. And nothing happened in extra time, which means it's a pen shootout on Neymar's first ever Brazil game. First penalty taken by Cole Palmer, who was snubbed for the 2026 World Cup. Will he score here? And yes, he does, top corner. Estevao, the first penalty taker. I kind of don't like this, but he goes to the left anyways and scores it. Why isn't Vinny first? Bukayo Saka up next. Where is he gonna go? He goes to the right, and it's saved by Kakua Santos. Vinicius Jr., come on. You have to score the penalty. You're the captain of this country. Lovely penalty. And now it's Anthony Gordon. Where is he gonna go? Kakua Santos down the middle. He misses. Sir Bobby Charlton scored a goal earlier. Missed the last minute opportunity in the 90th, but bangs it in anyways. Declan Rice doesn't miss penalties. He is very reliable, but he goes to the left, and it's not saved. Come on, Joao Costa. You switch from Portugal to Brazil. Make us proud. And yes, he does just about. If Reece James misses this or Santos saves it, they're going to the round of 16 in probably a big upset here. Reece James down the middle. It goes in, man. If Gabriel Sara scores this, Brazil are on to the next round. A huge moment for Brazil. He misses. We're going to sudden death. Left back Nico O'Reilly. Come on. Brazil cannot lose his man. He goes down the middle, and he cannot save it, man. Vinicius Tobias, former Madrid player. Neymar's former right back. Left hand side. It goes in. Let's go. Captain Phil Foden is the 7th penalty taker. How is this happening? To the right. Santos can't get to him, man. Victor Rice, the free agent signing signing Neymar made long ago. Can he let his country down? No, he doesn't. Let's go. Adam Wharton up next to go ahead and keep England in that game, but no, he keeps going the wrong way. Bruno Guimaraes basically knocked out Brazil in 2026. Will he do it again? Or will he not? No, he doesn't this time. Let's go. Goalkeeper up next. That's how far they've gone. Pickford. Can he go ahead and score this? Santos. Man, you're right there. Luckily, no goalkeeper for Brazil just yet. Jason Murillo. Where is he gonna go? Top left. Oh my days, it's 8-8 in a pen shootout, man. Mark Guehi. How did Pickford take a pen before this guy? He goes to the left-hand side. Man, everyone is scoring. Andre Santos, potentially a new United player IRL. Is he gonna let his country down? No, he does not. When is somebody gonna miss, man? Jared Brandtwhite, the 11th penalty taker. It starts again after this, and he does not miss, man. Oh my days. The fate of the country on the goalkeeper. Kakua Santos saved one earlier, and his craziest bench shootout of all time. Back to the very beginning, boys. I'm so sorry. Cole Palmer goes to the right, and he misses. Let's go. And now it's up to Estevao to send his country to the next round. Chips it down the middle, and it goes in. Neymar has caused an upset, knocking out one of the favorites. What a debut. Brazil have just been robbed. They're knocked out of the World Cup, but we won in pens. Look, England went to the round of 16 and are now in the quarters. What is this? How do we even move on from this? I guess Neymar's knocked out. What are we supposed to do? FIFA, fix your game, man. Well, the good thing is Brazil have let Neymar keep his job for the next World Cup cycle. And he wants to make sure he never goes to a pen shootout again. So he's going to make a couple changes here. He's decided to go for a 4-3-3 attack with a center attacking mid that will be a playmaker. And he wants Estevao to eventually become that attacking mid. So there's a lot of years to go through. But someone like Vinny, Bruno Guimaraes, and Gabriel might not be at the next World Cup. Neymar may have just missed the biggest opportunity to win it all. But look who has come calling again. Chelsea won him. Is Neymar gonna stay at Lyon once again? But it was time he went to a super club, and he has finally accepted Chelsea after 3 years of them wanting him. It's time to work towards the World Cup, and winning the Champions League would be a great way to be ready for that 2034. And oh my days, Mbappe is here at Chelsea, and this is the side he's taking over. Yo, he can win the Champions League here in a season or two, and this time he's going for the 4-2-3-1 wide, just like Thomas Tuchel. And this is his current best 11. It looks incredible, especially that attack, but we don't know if these Chelsea players will stay through the Neymar project. So this is the transfer list he has built. A lot of players like Giuliano 86 doesn't fit the system, and Kofain, there are just way too many strikers at this club. But let's see who ends up leaving. But the fear was correct, as Cole Palmer has gone to West Ham, which is the only weird transfer. But Caicedo to United, Enzo to United. The biggest players at Chelsea did not believe in the Neymar project. That changes everything. But the squad still looks good, but not good enough to win the UCL yet. But Neymar can now work on the Estevao project. Palmer has decided to leave on his own, but he's gone down to an 85 overall. But there are a lot of transfers to be made here, starting as always with the goalkeeper. And somehow Santos is still at Shakhtar. So for 80 million, he's bringing his Brazil #1 to Stamford Bridge. So with the goalkeeper situation out of the way, plenty of things to sign here. A brand new center back for sure, a left back, even a new DM because Lavia is very injury prone. And Neymar's been wanting Lucas Berardo for a couple years now. Seems like the perfect transfer. Yes, there were better options like Vitor Rice, but Neymar wants to get as many Brazilians ready for the World Cup, and he's taking his chance on Lucas Berardo. And he also wants to go ahead and re-sign Pedro Henrique, still at Everton. Has a lot of Prem experience now. So for only 32 million, Enrique returns with Neymar, trying to get ready for the World Cup. So that's this season's defense sorted. It's time to work on the midfield and onwards. And he's had him in his team twice. Neymar desperately wants Marlon Gomez. He loves him as a footballer, but he's gonna be playing in that DM position instead. And it's costed 140 million. But for the third time, Neymar will have Gomez in his club team. And it is about time Neymar finally gets his hands on Ryan to replace Estevao on that right wing spot for Brazil. And for a final 150 million, Ryan finally gets his big boy move. Should have gotten it a long time ago. So this is the final Chelsea side for this season. He may not win the Champions League right away, but he has some good Brazilians that will grow. And even João Pedro on the bench can maybe someday overtake Mbappe. And Mbappe is still going with 37 goals and 11 assists. 19 and 14 for Estevao. 17 goals in Ryan's first season here. 13 and 12 for Reece, and even 12 goals for João Pedro. And Mbappe goes up a +1. Estevao now to a +3. Santos almost at a 90. Gomez is at a 90. Beraldo reaches an 85. So does Pedro Enrique. And it is a Premier League title in his first year. And he wins it by 16 points. He fails to win the FA Cup, however, and also the Carabao. And he lost in the UEFA Super Cup final. I believe they won the Europa League last year, Chelsea. But in the UCL, they finished second undefeated, smashed Inter Milan 4-1, beat Bayer Leverkusen 5-2, and beat AS Monaco 6-1, but lost to City in the final. Neymar almost went perfect in his first year at Chelsea. This Haaland and Mbappe battle went crazy as Mbappe misses out on the Golden Boot though. And Haaland wins the Player of the Year as Kylian, Esteban, Ryan, Pedro Enrique, and Santos made the team of the season. Erling Haaland wins the Ballon d'Or. Remember, Neymar was a Ballon d'Or winner, and we're at that stage now. And for the first time, he has 0 offers from a new club, meaning he's gonna stay at Chelsea. But 2 players have left the club, and Andres Santos, who wants to play in La Liga, and Mbappe, who wants to play for Juve, just like his idol, Ronaldo. And the squad does get a tad bit weaker, but João Pedro is coming on. They just need a backup striker in case he gets injured. Maybe a brand new CDM, because Lavia, like I said, injury prone. And a brand new left mid. Leon Gumoa is the only good one at the club. And the 3 players he's gonna go for is Luca Mireles, who's still at Shakhtar Donetsk, Kevin, who is now at Espanyol, and Gabriel Mascherano from PSG. 3 great backups. For 33.5 million, here comes Gabriel Mascherano. For 30 million, here comes Kevin from Espanyol. And for 80 million, yes, 80 million, Luca Mireles, the backup striker, joins. That's expensive, man. So the 3 backups are now in the squad. And these guys run it back and reach another UCL final, as there are 3 seasons left till the World Cup. And that's how you show up JP. 42 goals for him, 27 and 12 for Ryan, 21 and 21 for Marlon. I see why Neymar loves this guy. Romeo Lavia 10 and 10 for Mireles. It seems like Esteban picked up an injury. And yes, Esteban stays at an 88. He could have gone to a 90 like JP or Ryan. As Gomez is at a 91, Beraldo 87, Enrique 87. And it's back-to-back Prem titles for Chelsea. But they somehow lose the Community Shield final. But they win the FA Cup and miss out on the Carabao. And in the UCL this time, it was a bit worse, sitting in 5th. But they still won the round of 16. But they lost in the quarters to PSG. No Mbappe, no party for Neymar. And it's a Ballon d'Or win for Lamine Yamal. Neymar wants a Brazilian under his tutelage to win one. And speaking of Lamine, in the new season, Barca have come in for Neymar. He reached the UCL final here at Chelsea, but this is his dream club, man. And he had to go ahead and accept the offer. He's returned to Barca with one goal in mind, win them the Champions League, as the World Cup is 2 years away. And this is the Barca team he is taking over. This Dos Santos guy used to be in the Shakhtar Academy, and he actually wants to go ahead and test out that 4-3 attack he will be using at the World Cup. There's a lot of transfers to make. This is his best lineup. It's not the best, man. And Neymar has gone ahead and gotten rid of a couple players. With 252 million, he can sign anybody he wants. And his first signing for 115 million is Vitor Rice, finally reuniting with Neymar. And for 43 million, he's actually signing Kevin again. He doesn't have enough money for the better left wingers in Brazil. And finally, for 50 million plus Ferran Torres, Luca Mireles is also being re-signed. Some pretty good deals for Neymar here. So this is the final lineup for Neymar's first season at Barca. They couldn't upgrade that left back spot or this right back spot, so this Dos Santos guy has to step it up. And what a signing. 46 goals for Mireles, 17 and 2 for Kevin, 11 for Gavi, 10 and 14 for Pedri. Lamine only got 10 goals and 19 assists here. But an 88 rated Mireles now. Kevin is at an 86. Lamine at a 96. This Dos Santos guy went up a +4. Kubarsi 90, Reis 90, Gerard Martin 84. Did they win the Champions League? He wins La Liga with only 1 draw and 37 wins. He fails to win the Supercopa de España. He fails to win the Copa del Rey. And in the Champions League, they finished in first place. Round of 16, they smashed Monaco. Quarterfinals, though, they lost to Arsenal. This team is not perfect yet. And at the end of next year, it's going to be Neymar's World Cup, as Haaland wins the Ballon d'Or once again. And in this last season, for 130 million, he re-signs Esteban one last time to get him ready for the World Cup this summer. And this is an incredible starting 11, one last chance to win the Champions League. And 39 goals for Mireles, 33 goals for Kevin, 25 and 19 for Lamine, 14 and 12 for Esteban, 12 and 22 for Pedri. Smells like a UCL winning season. Best team in the world, man. 88 Kevin, 90 Mireles, 97 Yamal, 91 Esteban, 91 Vitor Rice, man. And they win back-to-back La Liga, same record as last year. Neymar wins the Supercopa de España, wins the Copa del Rey, and in the UCL, he finished in 4th. But round of 16, they beat Midtjylland 3-0. Quarters, they won 6-2. Semis, they won 4-3 against his old club, and they end up winning the entire thing, finally winning the Champions League. The World Cup group is easy: Turkey, Ivory Coast, and Panama. And this is the starting 11 for Brazil at this World Cup. The lowest rated player is an 87. That's nuts. And the group stages were easy, as in the round of 32, they faced Qatar. Come on, man. Easiest game of all time for Brazil. It's a 3-0 victory. Round of 16, they do have Germany. We're not going live until the final. Costa and Race both out, and it's gonna be a 3-0 victory again, man. Quarterfinal, it's the Netherlands. Come on, Brazil. You should easily win this. Costa still out, and it's another 3-0 victory. Semi-final against Spain versus Pedri and Lamine. Rice is injured, so is Costa still. Please, Brazil, pull through. 3-1 win. Let's go. They're in a final. And the World Cup final will be against Italy. And Kevin is the top goal scorer of the entire competition, the perfect replacement for Vini. While Ryan is the top assister for Brazil, but they have Tonali and Pisili who are cooking. And this is what their team is looking like. I can't see the overalls, but we know all of these guys have high potential. But Neymar has arrived to a stage he's never been before. A World Cup final. Couldn't do it as a player. Can he do it as Brazil's manager? Captain Marlon Gomez wins the ball back, and here come Brazil. The game kicks off. Estevao into Marlon Gomez. Through ball into Kevin, the top goal scorer. Gives it to Marlon Gomez. Here comes the captain. Neymar's probably favorite player. He's managed. Gomez with a finesse, and it goes in. Straight away, El Capitano puts Brazil 1-0 up. Oh, but it's a cross in into Esposito, who lays it up to Richie. Great save from Kakua Santos. Sandro Tonali gives it to Scalvini. Great tackle from Marlon Gomez, the captain, but he gives it away again. Scalvini, Tonali, Esposito cuts inside. Great tackle from the defense, but it falls back into Scalvini. Someone clear it out. Vinicius Tobias. Nicolo Rovella, great tackle from Andres Santos, gives it to Estevao, and here comes Estevao. Great ball into Ryan, and here comes the Brazilian winger back into Andres Santos. Through ball back into Ryan to make it 2-0 in the first half. Yes, no, it goes out of bounds. Why, Ryan? Oh no, it's given away to Camarda, and it goes in. Brazil were trying to play out from the back, and Italy get a goal back. Oh, here come Italy. It's a great ball into Francesco Camarda. He's 1v1 through ball into Palestra. Great tackle from João Costa. Thank you for choosing Brazil. Clearance all the way into Kevin. Vinny's replacement down the middle into Marlon Gomez. The captain has had an incredible game. Gets rid of one. Marlon Gomez, great through ball into Estevao. Through ball into Ryan. Can he score this time? And yes, he does. It's brilliant from Ryan. 2-1, baby. Oh, but here come Italy again. Costa do not get beat here. It falls back into Richie. Costa misses the tackle. It goes to Francesco Camarda. Great tackle from De Oliveira, who I have no idea who he is. Palestra, another great tackle. It's still Palestra, another great tackle, man. Lovely. Estevao on the ball, looking to end off this game. Kevin on the counterattack for Brazil. Mireles. Estevao through ball into Kevin. The top goal scorer to get his 7th, and yes, he does. This final has to be over. This guy came out of nowhere, man. Oh my God. And yes, Brazil lift the World Cup. Neymar has finally become king, but as a manager. But Neymar couldn't get a Ballon d'Or winner. And if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to click on this video right here. I know you're gonna love it.